Well, the design that you see here is some 40 meters by 30 meters. So if we say how big is it from there to there, there's about, it's 55 by about 40 meters. And if we go into the layout and have a look at the layouts manager, you can see it's an A3 sheet. I'll select the floating viewport and I can see that a view scale of 100 has been set, and it's a fixed scale, which means if we double click in here, we go back to this area. All we can do, because it's been marked as a fixed scale, is just move the box around. We can't resize it because it's been set at a fixed scale. So everything looks fine. However, if I now, and remember that we're now looking at an A3 piece of paper, so if we say, well, what's the height of that paper? It's 420. If we go zoom extension, I hope you see that there's a problem. We lose the sheet. There must be some other entity in this layout space that's causing a problem. It must be a long, long way away from the edge of the drawing. So what I'm going to do is to stop recording now, and I'll dive in and see if we can find out what that missing entity is. Well, I managed to find that element that was way off the screen in the layout view. I did it by finding a title block and making it red and very thick lines, so it meant when I zoomed right out, as we were trying to before, I could actually pick it up. And so it's in fact a block. Now if I select that block, whenever you insert anything in gCADPlus, you insert at an X and Y value, and in fact at a Z value as well. So if you look over here in the properties box, can you see it's centered at position 54,000 units minus X and minus Y, so it's no wonder gCADPlus was having difficulty. So I'm happy now to remove it and then right click and zoom extents. You probably need to regen the drawing and zoom extents again. There, that's what I did with the drawing sheet, to be able to try and see it as I zoomed out. So I'll do that, and now no matter what in fact, let me now add a viewport, pop it in here. There's a viewport. We can double click in there, set it up pretty much as though it was done before, like so. Display it on the layout. We'll pick the floating viewport, give it a scale of 100 and make it a fixed scale, and get her out from there. Now what I'm hoping to see is that I can just zoom extents. So zoom extents, and it works perfectly. So the problem was caused all the time by a block inserted way, way, way down, way off the page. So meters and meters and meters away from the 400mm drawing sheet itself. I also notice, let's zoom in a bit, that if we select the floating viewport here and activate viewport layers, notice that number 3 red lines and number 8 hatching are turned off in the viewport. I thought that might be a clue, but I did exactly the same in this other layout here, and that didn't fix the problem. So the difficulty is in the initial creation of this layout. If I wanted to hide hatching and the red lines, I would much prefer to do it in the layers panel here. Let's turn off hatching and red lines. We still haven't got rid of those other layers, but I've reverted to an earlier drawing. So the lines are gone from here, and if I go to base plan 2, the red lines and hatching have gone as they are in this particular layout. So I think that's a much better way of doing it. I reserve the use of controlling layers in viewport just for particular layouts where I want a particular set of layer names turned on, and I think that works much better than trying to play with the layer names in every single layout drawing. Work on layers in the model first, get them the way you want, make new layouts, and then if you need to adjust visibility of layers, do it on an individual layout basis. So I hope that little investigation of a problem drawing provided you with some interest.